afternoon, Lakhwinder. Thanks for joining me on this podcast of your FFM, your Facilities Management Marketplace. And I'm very sure my audience will be very happy to see you and also listen to you and your journey in this industry, which is the most important industry, but also the least recognized industry, if you ask me, in terms of the hierarchy. But still, uh, being a weekend and this time, I really appreciate your time. And I hope this discussion will be very interesting for both of us. Okay, so to begin with, why don't you just give us a brief about your background and what do you do, as a professional?
Okay, sure. First of all, a very good afternoon to you, Wilson. And if I talk about myself, I am currently leading India facilities and real estate portfolio. And if I talk about my journey, it has been defined by resilience, dedication, and commitment to excellence, all anchored in a logical and a systematic approach to problem solving. So it all began with BTech degree, which not only provided me the strong technical foundation, but also instilled in me the ability to think analytically and approach challenges with precision. The next phase of my journey took me to the Indian Army, where I developed a profound sense of discipline, leadership, and adaptability under high pressure conditions. My time in the Army basically taught me the importance of strategic thinking and meticulous planning. These qualities actually enabled me to lead teams and manage integrate operations effectively. So now then transitioning from there to the corporate world, I discovered my passion for facilities and project management. To further hone my skills, I pursued my MBA and also earned my PMP certification, which allowed me to seamlessly integrate my technical expertise, which I gained from the BTech, with the managerial capabilities. So over the course of these 2 decades, I have consistently relied on my logical mindset and my structured approach to deliver this complex multi-stakeholder projects. So today, I have the privilege of serving as the India facility and real estate leader for a multinational corporation. This role reflects my journey as a blend of technical proficiency, disciplined leadership, and an unwavering drive to make a meaningful impact. I pride myself in turning these challenges into opportunities. As I normally say, very often I use this quote that I basically believe in making seemingly impossible situations work. So to further stay aligned with the industry best practices, I recently earned my Master of Corporate Real Estate also, the MCR designation from Cornet Global. This program further sharpened my ability to use data-driven decision makings and advanced methodologies in the real estate portfolio management. So what truly defines my journey is the relentless pursuit of innovation, sustainability, and operational excellence. So basically, if I talk about, I'm deeply committed in leading and inspiring my team to achieve transformative outcomes in real estate and the facility management. Over to you.
All right, a very wonderful journey, being a BTech, then in Army, and now into the FM and real estate industry. So profound. If I want to ask you why this industry? There are so many segments that you would have transitioned into after your defense career. Why did you choose this as an industry?
So what inspired my transition basically from the service industry, if I talk about the armed forces, to the corporate real estate and facility management was my desire, basically to apply the skills which I honed. That's the leadership, discipline, and problem solving to a new dynamic environment. I basically wanted to explore my experience from a high pressure mission critical situations that could translate into creating value into civilian context basically. So in Army, I developed the ability to lead teams, manage resources with precision, and execute complex operations seamlessly. While this foundation was invaluable, I recognized the opportunity to leverage these strengths in a different arena. And real estate and facility management caught my attention there because of its blend of strategic oversight with the need of operational excellence, the two areas where I knew I could make an impact. But what truly resonated with me about this field was basically the chance to shape workplaces, optimize the resources, and drive sustainability. So the idea of directly influencing the well-being and the productivity of employees while contributing to the broader organizational goals was incredibly compelling. It felt like the perfect avenue for me to combine my technical expertise, strategic planning, and people leadership in a way that makes a tangible difference. So, today, what drives me is the unique combination of challenge, growth, and impact. It's about taking the lessons of discipline and resilience from my past, which is the army, and applying them to create a sustainable, innovative solutions for the future. So that's how I came to this particular whole field, if I talk about.
Yes, yes. I think it's very inspiring, and also this would be a very inspiring message to people who want to pursue their journey in this industry. After seeing this video, I'm very sure people may reach out to you uh, and ask you, can you be a mentor or a coach for us how to transition into this? Because I think you have made a good headway now in this industry, and after also earning your professional degree from I think Cornet, right? You have done it. I think you also have both strategy and tactical knowledge of how to deal with the real life situation. So, if I want to ask you also, there are quite a few female, I think a lot of female leaders in this field today. Largely, it was dominated because administration and facilities. Earlier, it was not an administration of people. Then the facility management term came. Now people, it is altogether moved to a new name called workplace management and workplace experience. So for a female leader to, if she wants to enter this industry now also, because there are, as I said, a lot of people and very renowned people, leaders, female leaders in this, and they are doing very well. I know quite a few people, they're doing far better, and they're running this department or this segment. If if someone wants to really pursue their career in this domain, what is your suggestions to them? What should they get prepared for, and how should they look at it?
Okay, so for somebody who really wants to actually start their career or be in this particular field of facilities and real estate management, my advice would be simple, that you need to start embrace learning, build relationship, and stay adaptable. So some key insights I would like to share. One needs to focus on the fundamentals of the facilities and real estate management. That is called the space planning, your vendor management, cost control, and compliances. And also, along with that, be curious and learn continuously, because this field is constantly evolving with new technologies and sustainability practices, and you have to stay updated with that. So along with that, of course, we need to develop people skills as well. So facility management is as much about managing people as it is about managing spaces. Pay attention to the details, because small oversights can make big consequences in this field. Hence, you need to be attentive enough. Stay resilient and solution oriented. As we
Uh,
all know, challenges are inevitable. Am I audible?
yes, yes. Now you're audible.
Okay, so as I was mentioning that we need to develop people skills as well, because facility management is as much about managing people as it is about managing spaces. So we also need to pay attention to the details. Small oversights can make a big consequences in this field. So be very attentive what exactly is happening, and then stay resilient and solution oriented. Challenges, they are inevitable, as we all know. So it can be from budget constraints to operational hurdles. You need to approach them with problem solving mindset, focus on finding the solutions, but also do not shy away from taking tough decisions. That is very important. And one needs to think strategically. While it's essential to excel in day to day operations, but always keep the bigger picture in mind. Last but not the least, lead by example. Even if you're starting in a junior role, demonstrate initiatives, your integrity, and your professionalism. Leadership is not about titles, it is all about action and influence. So remember that this is the field where you can directly impact people's experience and the organization's success. So embrace the journey, stay curious, and always aim to add value.
Yeah, thank you, Lakhwinder. Very profound reply, in fact, and a very good suggestion for people, mainly the female leaders who wants to begin their journey in this field. The next thing I want to know, because you manage both office and manufacturing, so what are the commonalities between these two segments, Lakhwinder, and how you manage that?
So for office and manufacturing sites, basically for bringing those synergies between office and manufacturing sites requires basically creating a unified approach while respecting their distinct needs. That is something very important. So I focus on integrating processes, leveraging those resources which I have, and fostering collaborations to enhance the efficiency and alignment. The teams basically they come up, they standardize the core processes, and they also they leverage from the shared services. So if I talk about both offices and manufacturing sites, which are part of the same ecosystem, a shared vision ensures the alignment to the business objectives. And how I intend to do so is by, again, what do you say? I'll stress upon standardizing the core processes, leveraging on shared services, fostering cross-site collaboration, which is very important. That both the sites need to collaborate among themselves, understand how best they can implement what best practices they're implementing in that particular areas, and aligning their goals and leveraging technology. And on top of it, you need to build a unified culture, celebrating the wins together. Everybody needs to, if there is a win at the office side, they need to celebrate, feel as a team, and feel as if that they are working together for a common goal, for the common organization. And with that, you can turn them into a complementary assets for the organization's success. So that is what small things I keep doing it, and that gives me a lot of wins to celebrate.
Okay. Coming back to my another question to you is, Lakhwinder, there are certain times very good days. There are certain times not so good days, where when you leave the office, you feel very, enthusiastic, very motivated, that self-satisfaction that today I've been able to do my job very well. And then there are certain days where you feel, yeah, yaar, itna karke bhi probably I'm not done. And I don't know. So how do you manage that? How do you deal with that?
Yeah, dealing with tough days is very challenging. But what keeps me motivated is my unwavering commitment to my purpose and the belief that every challenge is an opportunity to grow. So I remind myself of the broader impact of my work, not just on the organization, but also on the people who depend on a safe and a well-managed and an inspiring workplace to perform at their best. So that is what drives me. So knowing that my efforts will help create an environment where individuals and teams can thrive gives me a profound sense of fulfillment and purpose. So along with that, I also draw strength from the discipline and resilience I've developed during my army tenure. As we all know,
Yes.
tough days, they are inevitable. But what I have learned is to see them as a moment to demonstrate my perseverance and my adaptability. So reflecting on those past challenges that I have overcome serves me as a reminder of my capacity to navigate through these difficulties with strength and determination. Of course, my team plays a significant role in keeping me motivated as well. I firmly believe in leading by example, and I'm conscious of how my responses to challenges sets a tone for the others. Lastly, I'll say that I stay grounded on focusing on the bigger picture. Every challenge is a stepping stone towards a larger goal, and I view setbacks as a temporary hurdles. Keeping this perspective allows me to remain solution oriented, learn from the experience, and stay driven to achieve my long term success. That's how I keep myself motivated. These are the small things which I keep doing.
No, absolutely right. Every challenge brings some opportunity in some form or kind, right? Rather looking at that as a problem or a challenge, if you look at the other side, if you just look at the flip side or just pause for a moment and look at the bigger picture, then definitely there is some potential hidden in that. So I also know you are very health enthusiastic and you also do a lot of things for fitness, right? So do you think doing these exercises keeps you fit and also mentally strong? How does that help you to de-stress yourself?
No, that's absolutely very important, Wilson. See, while we all know that we continue working all the whole day, but everybody should take some time out from their busy schedule, even if it is for half an hour, it's more than enough. Just come out of the whole kind of work which you're doing and focus on your mental peace, your physical health. Do some kind of workout, any small workout, because that will help you release all your stress and will give you more focus on your work and will help you take better decisions. So that is what I have learned it in a hard way, but I'm like following it like anything. Now these days, what I'm doing is that come what may, whatever is the schedule, I have to take out 1 hour and 1 hour of my time in the evening to de-stress myself by doing these kind of workouts. So I would actually advocate people to please do that. If not that, at least sit for 10 minutes in silence. That will also help you a lot.
So, Lakhwinder, because being in this industry, I think it is also a job of being a real estate lead for India. I think it's a big role, managing so many people, managing so many users, managing their expectations, managing their experience, and every day thinking differently. Tomorrow, what should I do differently to improve their experience being in the building or the office? That is our role is, we keep looking for new things. So tell me one thing, and this also keeps us like professional like you and mainly are who are on the client side, always thinking about it. So how do you do that? And point number two is, how do you get time after your busy schedule to focus on your health and your mental health, physical and mental health? How do you do that?
See, if one thing is very clear, if you don't do it, you will not perform good in the work which you are spending so much amount of time. So might as well take that half an hour and do that. So I've done that also. Let me give you an example. When I was in my younger days, when I was preparing for my exams and other things, I used to feel that जितना लंबा मैं पढ़ूंगी, जितनी देर तक पढ़ूंगी, उतने अच्छे marks मिलेंगे. That was my thought. And my father used to always tell me, that's not the way you need to work. But nevertheless, बच्चे होते हैं, सुनते तो है नहीं हम. So I continued studying the whole night. The whole night I was studying, and I knew everything. But when I sat in the exam, I just couldn't write a single word because I was not clear. My mind was not clear. I couldn't focus at all. And when I came back home and I was like surprised, what happened in the exam? Then I understood. While you're paying attention to your work, to get the clarity and focus, you need to come out of that zone and spend some time with yourself, de-stress yourself, give yourself the enough amount of rest which is required. And that day it taught me a lesson that come what may, I have to sleep at that particular time and get up by this time so that my mind relaxes, rests, and is ready for the next challenge which is coming on my way. So that's how I do it. See, like we always say, if we don't give rest to our body will take rest. You like it or you don't like it. You'll fall ill and you'll be on the bed.
Yes.
It might as well better that you discipline your life and get it on track. So some people learn it the harder way, some people in a different way. So it's a journey. Everybody has to take it.
Okay, so coming back to your growth story, what has been your biggest challenge? What have you faced any biggest challenge in your career or life, and how did you overcome it? Can you just share one example with us, probably, which also gave you a lot of valuable lessons?
Yeah, of course. One of my biggest challenge which I faced in my career was transitioning from a highly structured environment of Indian Army to an ever-evolving, multifaceted corporate world. Of course, this shift required me to adapt to a completely different organization culture. Along with that, it also required me to acquire new skills, of course, in the facilities, project, and the real estate, for myself to thrive in that competitive industry. So in Army, the decisions were made with absolute clarity, supported by a well-defined chain of command. In contrast, in the corporate landscape, what we have seen, it's more fluid, more ambiguous, demanding my ability to navigate through the diverse stakeholder expectations, collaborate with global teams, and balance operational efficiencies. So what happened is basically these nuances of cost management, vendor negotiation, and implementing sustainability was basically presented me a steep learning curve. So how did I tackle this challenge? This challenge was like, I tackled it by relying on the core principle which I've learned during my Army tenure is basically my discipline, my adaptability, and my commitment to the continuous learning. So what I did is that I immersed myself into this corporate environment, listening to the mentors, observing decision-making processes, and gradually mastering the intricacies of the business world. And whenever I faced any unfamiliar challenges, I approached them with pragmatically, breaking those problems into manageable steps and aligning my strategies with the broader organization goals. So this structured approach actually enabled me to turn this daunting transition into an incredible opportunity for growth. So it is basically a testament to the fact that while environments may differ, but the principle of resilience, adaptability, and learner's mindset is universally acceptable and it's valuable. And that made this challenge very, very easy for me to just pass through it. So this was my biggest challenge, if I go.
One point I really liked from yours, adaptability. No matter what the challenge or circumstances there be, but if you are know how to be a little flexible and adaptable to that particular challenge or the situation, I think you can sail over any tough task or challenge. But yes, never come out of a problem without having a learning. Never, never, never ever lose the opportunity for learning, because every situation, let it be good, bad, it gives you a good learning. Okay, so
That's
coming back on the role, I think, what is your take on gender diversity, Lakhwinder? Nowadays, we talk about gender equity, diversity, inclusion. What is your take on that?
so for me, gender diversity, it's not a box to check. It's basically a mindset to nurture. I've always believed that diversity is more than just fairness. Basically, it's a tool for what you call innovation, your performance, your organization growth. It actually brings you a diverse range of perspectives, different ideas, problem-solving approaches, and these are the qualities which we are looking for in today's fast-evolving world and the complex business landscapes. So, and as you know that I've served Indian Army, so which is traditionally a male dominated field. So it gave me a first hand insight into the challenges that women face in breaking those barriers and asserting themselves. So those experience actually instilled in me a deep commitment to fostering this inclusivity and creating environments where everyone, regardless of their gender, feels valued and empowered. So for me, gender diversity, it's not just about representation. It's basically creating equal opportunities for women to grow, to lead, and to make a meaningful contribution. So how can we do this? This involves basically you have to address those unconscious biases. You have to create equitable policies and ensure that women have access to these sponsorship programs and mentoring sessions where which can make them thrive in this particular organization or the world, if I talk about. So I also believe that the organization should advocate this gender diversity at all levels, specifically at the leadership levels, because when women see themselves, see others like themselves in that position of influence, that not only inspires them but also gives them a confidence that success is achievable by everyone. So I basically, if you talk about me, I would like to basically want to take this gender diversity along with me and promote all kind of women in all different kind of roles that will actually help the individuals, the teams, and the organization as a whole, because that's going to make a huge impact in the organization.
Absolutely, absolutely. I completely agree with you, because today you need to have a diverse team
That's right.
to meet the objective. Everyone cannot be the batsman, and
That's
everyone
right.
cannot be the bowler. Or
Correct.
it is not only male can do and female can't do, or he can do, she can't do. I think it's a very important thing, and I think I absolutely happy that you spoke about it, and it was. I'm very sure every organization today are embracing diversity, and it is one of their priorities. Because uh, unless you don't make it a priority or don't enforce it, things may not push. But I think now it is going to be it is becoming a default feature. You don't have to
Yes.
tell about it. You don't talk about it. It is a default feature. This is how we're gonna live. This is how we're gonna run the organization. This is how we're gonna embrace the future. Good. So, talking about diversity, now the next topic I want to talk to you about sustainability. I think it's your Cummins is one of the largest manufacturing giants now in the world. One of them. What what is your take on sustainability, and what are the things that you do as a real estate lead for India to drive sustainability and meet your sustainability goals?
So Wilson, we do a lot of things. For me, sustainability is the key focus area. I basically strive to integrate these sustainability practices into every aspect of my work, which I do. So what I'm currently involved is in different projects like energy efficiency projects. So I'm leading efforts to optimize energy across facilities by efficient lightings, by leveraging automations, and by also exploring renewable energy sources like your solar energy or wind energy. Also working on the water conservation measures. I've implemented rain harvesting systems, upgraded fixtures to low flow models, and also working on the waste management systems working with vendors to ensure proper segregation, recycling, and disposal of waste. One very important project which we are working on is basically eliminating, or rather eliminating, the single-use plastic. So that's the most important thing as on today, which we are working on, that there will be no single-use plastic in our organization across India. So that's one project we are working on. Then since I do a lot of projects, so what I intend to do is I intend to incorporate all green building principles into all my renovations and all new projects which I undertake, which involves the low VOC paints and improving indoor air qualities, all other things. Then along with that, what I would like to say is that for me, sustainability, it is not just an operational priority, it's a responsibility. So by embedding into our daily practices and long-term strategies, I aim to contribute to a greener and a healthier future. So that is what is my bigger aim, which I'm looking at.
Yes, thank you for that. I think like diversity, sustainability is also key part and element now. If we have to give the planet back to the generations to come in the same segment. So we have to do something now as on yesterday. We should not say, "Okay, I'll do it tomorrow." It should happen as on yesterday. And I think Cummins is also leading probably as a business doing too many things in sustainability, and we also have gone through a sustainability report. I think thanks for that. Okay, one more thing I want to know from you is who has been your biggest motivator or influencer or a coach mentor for you throughout, when you started. Now there would be someone you will be looking up to, as Lakhwinder. Okay, now I have need some mentoring. Whom do you look up to?
So that I can go on because my father, he has been my biggest influence. So my father, he was a self-made man. He wasn't born into privilege, nor did he had a clear path to success. He built his life brick by brick, fueled by his sheer hard work, his unwavering discipline, and his unshakable sense of integrity. These qualities became his blueprint of life, but then eventually it became mine as well. So as a child, I often found myself observing him, the way he approached challenges, the way he interacted with others, the way he remained steadfast on his principles, even when the situations or the stakes were very high. I didn't realize at that particular point in time that those small everyday moments and were lessons in disguise for me. So those things were basically teaching me values that would become a cornerstone of my life, what I am today. So one memory, what stands out very clearly in my mind was that my father faced a major crisis in his workplace, and it went off track. The project actually went off track, causing a lot of high tensions and uncertainty, while everyone other panicked and they shifted blames to others. But he remained calm. He analyzed the problem, devised a solution, and executed a decision. So what struck me the most was his willingness to take the responsibility, even when it was not his fault. And it was not his fault entirely, if I talk about. So when I asked him that why did he chose to own up, his response was simple, very simple. And that was because it is the right thing to do. And if you're true to yourself and honest with others, you will never go wrong. And frankly speaking, Wilson, that moment actually has echoed through my countless decisions in my life and my career, becoming that guiding principle I strive to live by. So the lessons which I've learned during this whole journey has been the compass of my life. Basically, my hard work, which helped me to overcome my challenging projects and my tight deadlines, the discipline that kept me focused amidst all the distractions, and the integrity that has always remained my North Star, guiding me through every interaction and tough decisions. Even today, whenever I face any difficult situation, I normally find myself asking, what would my dad do? And always I get the same answer: work hard, stay disciplined, and remain true to yourself. So my father's legacy is not just the life what he's built, but it is the values that he has passed on. And those values continue to inspire and guide me every day. So that's what I'll talk about.
Super, super. The early values, what we get is from our parents and grandparents.
Yeah.
We can't give them everything. We can't pass on the richness. We can't pass on the wealth. But what we can pass on is the values that will stay with them. And if possible, we can try hard to give them the best of best education along with the values. That is what I strongly feel as a parent, what we can give the kids. So you don't know how the circumstances change. Overnight it changes. What is there today, it doesn't belong to you tomorrow. But if you have strong values, your integrity, ethics are strong, I think that no one can take it from you. That is one thing I think you should keep on passing from generation to generation.
That's right.
Okay,
Yeah.
Lakhwinder, coming. Yeah, yeah, thanks. One more thing. What has been your biggest achievement so far that you are very proud of? There are
Okay, there
many.
have
You
been.
don't have to think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of achievements. I'll talk about the recent one because that is what is
Yes.
coming to my mind as of now. So recently, I'm particularly proud of my success in implementing the workplace utilization and the optimization strategies that delivered a significant value to my organization. So by carefully analyzing that workplace utilization patterns, leveraging the data-driven insights which we got from that, and collaborating across teams, I identified the areas of inefficiencies and opportunities to better utilize my
Oh,
existing resources. So, for example, if I talk about through these initiatives like conducting comprehensive workplace utilization studies and reconfiguring the underutilized spaces, I was actually able to ensure that every square foot of the office was used effectively. It not only maximized the seating capacity, but it also delayed the costly expansions and avoided the need for additional space, resulting in the substantial cost saving for the organization. And it also gave me an opportunity to work with cross-functional teams. And when you work with cross-functional teams, you learn a lot of things, not only on that particular project, but many other softer skills also. So this was something I'm incredibly proud of. So this is what I recollected as my recent, what do you say, achievement.
great. I agree with you completely because in our industry, and mainly when you are the real estate lead, the major cost of any business is real estate. If you look at,
That's right.
the spaces today, our commercial spaces are so costly, so very costly, and then you have the other costs that are associated too. So if you are able to optimize your space and you have a better space utilization, I think you have at least done or maybe brought the cost which not, down, not significantly, but any cost that is saved is a profit. So once what I realized is once we got a call from our client to help them in space utilization, and that client was in Hyderabad, and it was a single building of one of our clients, and they said we were looking for an expansion and we don't know, we need to help and do something to ensure, and they were also expanding. So what we did is we did a proper study of the entire facility, and we realized they have 30% of spaces never gets occupied. Like for
Okay.
example, the conference rooms are booked but are never occupied. Someone has booked the conference room in the morning, but it till afternoon it is not occupied. And if someone else wants to book it, it shows it is someone else's book. And then there are people who are some of 10% of people are not coming to the office because of leave, sickness. And when we realized, then we said now I think it's high time we need to use the technology to help you better. Then when we implemented sensor based technologies in every desk, in the conference room was digitized, and then hot deskings were made, right? And based on that we were able to save that 25% of cost. Guys, we still have the case study with us. I don't want to name the client, but they were very happy, which saved them the huge cost, in a big city in Hyderabad. Good. Okay, what is your take on and what are you doing on technology front? Which helps you. You said use technology to take a lot of informed decisions. You get a lot of data insights. What is that you are doing? To help you in this space.
So if I talk about space utilization, since we are talking on that particular concept only, we are actually exploring desk booking systems, wherein the employees can book desks, book for a particular duration. And with that, booking is one thing because people may book and they may not use it. But then once they reach on their desk, they are supposed to log into that particular desk. Then only that desk will remain with them. Otherwise, it'll be open for others to book in next 15 minutes,
Yeah.
whatever time they book for. So this is something which we are working on. So that's one kind of technology. Then the other technologies is like going paperless for what do you call our FM check sheets. If I talk about, so that is the other technology which we are working on. So these are few things which I'm working on. And of course, all the kind of sensors which you talked about, that is also in the pipeline, which we intend to work on. So these are the few things which I intend to work on.
All right. Thank you, Lakhwinder. And I'm really sure you would be a guiding light for a lot of people. And when they come, they have to talk about space optimization. I'm very sure after watching this video, they will call you and they will definitely want your guidance. Okay, I just one question, Lakhwinder. I think we have spent a lot of time, and I think it's been a very interesting discussion. The last one: if you would go back in time, what advice would you give to your younger self?
Okay. So, okay, I think I've spoken about this, but let me touch back again. If I had a chance to go back on my time, what I would do differently is I would prioritize my well-being very, very early in my life, frankly speaking. All parts of my well-being, my physical, mental, and the emotional well-being. So while I've understood later part of my life that well-being is the foundation upon which everything in the life is built upon. It took me far too long to embrace its importance. And while I understand my physical well-being, I started around when I was in 10th class, somewhere around that. But it took me even longer to basically acknowledge the importance of my mental and emotional well-being. And since then, since the time I've made this as a priority in my life, I have seen the transformation. And that transformation is nothing short of being profound, frankly speaking. It has sharpened my clarity, my focus, my resilience. And I've also seen a remarkable shift of how I approach challenges with a calmer mind and a renewed sense of energy. So what I've learned it over a period of time is investing in yourself isn't being selfish. It's essential because when you prioritize your health and well-being, you're better equipped to give your best to the others, both personally and professionally. So looking back, I wish I had understood this sooner, but moving forward, I'm committed in continuing this journey of my self-care, knowing that it is the cornerstone of my fulfilled and an impactful life if I talk about. So this is what I would just like want to go back and change, nothing else. The rest all I'm very happy with.
Thank you. I think bang on because what stays with you is your health till you're alive, and a healthy body actually promotes both your mindfulness and also your emotional well-being. If some part of your body is not right, if you are not feeling better, it you will never have a sound mind. You'll never be able to focus. You'll always have that thing in your mind, and there is no use of a pile of money lying in your bank or in your cupboard or suitcase if your health is not with you. No amount of money will bring back the health. So people also talk to me, Wilson, you do so many things. You go to a marathon, you go to gym. I said, why so much stress? I said, it is not a stress. That actually helps me to de-stress myself. That is where I find myself. I am completely mindful when I am doing some health activity. My mind and my body are connected that time. I'm not thinking about anything. I'm just thinking about my body. That is what I do when I'm that 1 hour of mine, whatever I'm doing, in gym, running, cardio, or anything. In that 1 hour is my mindfulness hour for myself. When I am nowhere, I'm disconnected on the phone. I am not doing anything. Me and my body. This is what. Okay, great. Thank you, Lakhwinder. I really enjoyed this discussion with you, and we truly appreciate and you coming on the call on a weekend. And this 1 hour has been extremely interesting. I learned so many things from you, right? And I'm very sure my viewers will also be enjoying this discussion. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Wilson, for having me on your podcast. It was an absolute pleasure for me to share all my insights and engage in such a meaningful conversation with you. Looking forward to staying in touch and hopefully collaborating again in the future.
Sure, definitely. I'll love to.
Wish you all the very best.